Hello everyone, my name is Moji. You're watching a Bitcoin bubble news channel. It takes away the value of gold. That's what the ETF market shows. Gold ETFs are being sold off and Bitcoin ETFs are being bought up. It's taking money out of the stock market. It's taking money out of the bond market. It's taking money out of the real estate market. It's taking money out of the market for great art. When it comes to Bitcoin, everything is worthless. To put it another way, anything you hold as an object will lose value compared to Bitcoin. Max Keiser, a well-known Bitcoin supporter and financial commentator, talked about his groundbreaking experiences in El Salvador. He gave unique details about President Bukele's Bitcoin strategy and passionate tips on how to protect your financial future with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is now trading around $1.66 thousand, up 1% in the last 24 hours and a strong 5% over the past month. This comes after a very volatile weekend after Bitcoin Nashville. Since 19.73 million of the 21 million possible Bitcoins have already been mined, the feeling of shortage is growing. Gunpowder is a good way to describe Bitcoin. According to this model, if one country uses gunpowder, then you have to use gunpowder too in order to stay alive or destroy each other. The global hash war, also known as the global Bitcoin war, has begun. I wrote about this war about 5 years ago. When everyone said, oh, these countries are going to ban Bitcoin, I said, no, it's going to be the other way around. All of them are going to accept Bitcoin. They are going to mine Bitcoin against each other and hold on to it because it will become the new standard for Bitcoin around the world. And all paper money will lose all of its value over time. So, these are the thoughts that people who have been following Bitcoin for a while are starting to have. There are a lot of leaders here talking about Bitcoin, which I find very interesting. What they want to say is clear, and they sound good. I don't think they've really thought about it yet because Bitcoin will cut out the middleman. Not only will it cut out the central banks, but it will also cut out the nation state as we know it. This means that both the nation state and the central banks will fall apart. This is already happening in El Salvador. There will be a decentralized control model in the future, which is different from the 300-year-old central bank model that we're used to. President Bukele is already thinking about this. He's spreading things out. Some people call President Bukele a dictator, but no ruler would let his people own Bitcoin, which can't be stolen. That gives you freedom, which is the opposite of dictatorship, right? Bitcoin is like a magic mirror, I believe. If you are a good person, it makes you even better. If you're already a bad person, this will make you even worse. When you look at someone like Craig Wright, the Bitcoin magic mirror shows that they are a real jerk. Oh no, if your name is Michael Saylor, the Bitcoin mirror showed that you are a person of great character, who loves teaching and knows a lot about Bitcoin. The same thing happens in politics. You have someone named Cynthia Lamas who I think gets it. You should know that she's been orange-pilled and is working hard in politics to make things better. When politicians talk about Bitcoin, other politicians will soon find out if they are being selfish, self-serving jerks or if they are really Bitcoin or maximalist believers. You know, the scythe always kills someone. Bitcoin is like the guillotine of today. People who act important but aren't really deserving of their power, you're gone. Have a nice day, bye. You'll go from being far away to being managed to zero. Some people talked about President Bukele and Donald Trump, but what did everyone else talk about? I am President Bukele. There was some jealousy between them. He thinks, oh, I need to calm this guy down, but right now, President McKinley is the most liked leader in the world. You can use Bitcoin in El Salvador, which is now known as the Shining City on a hill. El Salvador is the first country to arrive at the end of the world. Do you know? El Salvador stands for freedom. El Salvador has already put Bitcoin in their bank account. It's being said by lawmakers that it will be put on their reserve. Hey everyone, guess what? They're lying because the central bankers Jamie Dimon and other people with power won't let them. That's why Ayn Rand said to move to El Salvador if you really want freedom. Go there and smell the freedom volcano. Leave your country if people don't treat you well there. Get a load of it. Head to a real country like El Salvador, where there is a real boss, real people, and real business spirit, not interested in the US. They're not giving you what you want, You don't have the right to free speech. You don't have the right to free speech. You don't get any kind of freedom. Your feet don't move. Your vote won't get you anything. Leave. Move. Because he said the president and El Salvador were letting criminals into the US through the border. That's not only insulting, but it's also materially and factually wrong. The Mississippi 13 gang was formed in Los Angeles, and the Clintons dumped them in El Salvador, where they killed tens of thousands of Salvadorans. You're being very rude when you say that the opposite is true, okay? Because it's not just being cute. That's what made me mad. He's not trying to be a rival at the sorority cotillion by saying things like, oh, he has a better dress than I do and is a B. He is wrong about the facts. He is wrong, and he is insulting tens of thousands to millions of Salvadorans. The people of El Salvador made Bitcoin legal currency. Free speech is very important to Salvadorans. What used to be the Statue of Liberty is now a volcano in El Salvador. Okay, buddy, let me tell you something while you wait in line. Trump, Bitcoin changes you, not the other way around. You need to join the Bitcoin side. You need to wait in line. You need to bend your knee, which you most likely won't be willing to do. One ear won't let you hear very much. Already? It's a rough world, okay? Bitcoin fixes this and takes the money out of violence, all right? Max Keiser, a well-known Bitcoin supporter and financial commentator, talked about his groundbreaking experiences in El Salvador. He gave unique details about President Bukel's Bitcoin strategy and passionate tips on how to protect your financial future with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is now trading around $1.66,000, up 1% in the last 24 hours and a strong 5% over the past month. This comes after a very volatile weekend after